What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Seasons. This is episode number 9, and we're starting today's episode off by playing with Newell's Old Boys, who we faced in the last game of the last episode. And of course, I'm liking the idea of playing with the size that my opponents were in the last game. It kind of varies it up a little bit and gives us a complete range of teams. I never would have thought of using this team before. And, you know, to be honest, I don't really know too many of their players. Obviously, Astari, the goalkeeper, and Scocco, and Maxi Rodriguez as well, but not too many players in there that I know too much about. And to be honest, as we came up against Southampton for the first game of today's episode, so my opponent picked Southampton, I was Newell's Old Boys, I didn't really think much was going to happen in this game in terms of great creativity, because I didn't really like the look of the side I'd picked. And, you know, it just didn't look very strong to me. And Southampton's side, you know, it's not amazing, obviously, but it's still a very decent side. And I thought this would be a hard game for us, but the first chances would fall to us here. There was a couple of nice, pieces of passing play. Scocco's shot was well saved by Forster there, and it was cleared away. And in the 38th minute, you see Jose Font give the ball away and make a challenge with Bernardi, and we go on the break. Good chance here, nice little roulette. Played into Scocco, then back to Bernardi. He goes through one-on-one and does eventually score to make it 1-0 to Newell's Old Boys. We take the lead in this game. Very, very good to see, because I didn't really see where the goals were going to come from, to be honest. But in the 45th minute, on the stroke of half-time, my opponent crosses the ball in with Ryan Bertrand, and James Ward-Prowse wins the header and makes it 1-1. So James Ward-Prowse makes Southampton back on level terms here, puts Southampton back on level terms. It was a poor piece of defending by me, really. I shouldn't have let him go down the wing so easily. His cross was quite simple to be dealt with. I didn't, and Ward-Prowse made it 1 apiece. And in the second half here, from kick-off, we tried to get ourselves back in front. Nice back heel by Munoz finds Scocco. Scocco gets past his man. Nice piece of skill. Picks out Faravelli into the centre. The header is won by Maxi Rodriguez, and it somehow goes wide. So that was a really, really poor attempt when we should have done much better. And in the 50th minute here, Scocco comes forward, beats Toby Alderweireld, comes forward. I try and shoot. I'm tackled. It comes to Bernardi. Bernardi gets the ball, and I just couldn't do anything in this game. Like, I really couldn't. It was one of those games where the players seemed so stiff and rigid. There was no pace to this game. It was really, really low tempo. Same to be said of my opponent as well. It was really, really low tempo between the pair of us. Neither player had a good game, which is why I'm not surprised we drew it by 1 goal each. It was just very poor, what can I say? It was so boring, and it was, you know, despite the fact there were 2 goals, it's one of the most boring games I've played. Nothing really happened, and we start off the new division with just a point. And, you know, it's not a great way to start the division. Obviously, I would have preferred the 3 points, but it was very, very subpar, and I guess a draw was a fair result. You know, it really was. My opponent wasn't a bad player at all, and, you know, I don't think of myself as a bad player. I think I'm fairly average, but, you know, it was just really poor. I think both players underperformed in that game, and that's why it finished as a draw. What can I say? But the following game, we would of course choose Southampton, because that's what my opponent was. And as you can see, I felt a lot more comfortable using this side as well. Southampton currently with a lot of players in form right now, because they are playing quite well in the league. And I picked a very decent side. Of course, I couldn't resist playing Mayuka on the right wing. I know that would upset a lot of people, but I couldn't resist that. And the midfield trio as well, with Wanyama, Schneiderlin, and Dusan Tadic seemed very, very good for me. I was contemplating playing a 4-5-1, but I've used the 4-5-1 a lot during this series. I do like its formation, but I want to try and vary it up a little bit and choose different formations here and there. And we came up against Peru for this game, so an international side, as we took them on here at St Mary's. That's what my opponent chose. And the first chance would fall here in the 11th minute as Graziano Pella gets on the ball, goes down this right hand side. It's a great chance for the Italian striker, who cuts in and onto his left foot, but I dragged a shot wide and it went out for a goal kick. So very good chance for us to take an early lead there. And in the 24th minute we come forward again. Victor Wanyama wins us the ball back and plays it through towards Main. 2 pacey wingers in Main and Mayuka, and that's no real surprise where I ran across the field with Main, gave it to Mayuka, and Mayuka did score from cutting in on that right hand side to make it 1-0 to Southampton. And that was the plan, you know, that was the plan. Go down that right hand side or the left hand side, one of those 2 rapid players, and try and, you know, shoot towards the far corner, and it works. Very nice run by Main, and it's a good finish by Mayuka to make it 1-0. So we take the lead in this game. We go 1-0 up, and in the 31st minute we had a free kick here. Alderweireld gives it to Tadic. Dusan Tadic, the Serbian, finds Mayuka, the goal scorer. Back to Tadic, then back to Mayuka. Mayuka goes on the right hand side, rides the challenge of Ramos, I think it was, chips it inside towards Tadic, and what a lovely half volley that is. That was superb, it really was. It's actually a real shame I couldn't watch that on the replay, because my my opponent quit directly after the goal whilst the celebrations were happening. So that's kind of frustrating, really, because I wanted to see some replays of that. But still, it was a very, very nice goal by Tadic. A lovely half volley. Yes, he was inside the area, but still, the way it just curled into that top corner with the outside of his right boot was lovely. And we did win the game by 2-0 after my opponent quits just after the half an hour mark. So yeah, frustrating that the guy quit so early on, because, you know, I feel as though I probably could have scored maybe 1 or 2 more goals, and he wasn't, you know, going to be a bad player at all. He actually looked quite strong in the opening 30 minutes, but even so, he quit, and that's just how it is. And so for the third and final game of today's episode, I would choose Peru, because that was the side we just faced. And Peru have some very decent players as well. You know, I looked at their squad. Obviously, Zambrano, one of my West Bromwich Albion players in my career mode. Obviously, Farfan, everyone knows about Jefferson Farfan. Vargas, a very decent left-sided player. I had him playing left-back in this game. Obviously, Pizarro, I was playing up top as well. And Carillo, who I had as a support striker in this game. Some very, very decent players indeed. And, you know, I felt confident despite my opponent obviously quitting in the first half an hour using this side. I felt very confident using this team, and as you can see, I came up against Monterrey, the Mexican side. And of course, now as the next episode will be a live commentary, don't forget that in episode number 10 I'll be letting you guys choose the team, so we might choose Monterrey, you never know, but probably not. As we came against Monterrey for this game, I felt very, very confident of us getting the win, and the first chance would indeed fall to us in the 3rd minute, so very, very early on. I gave the ball to Cruzado with Zambrano. He finds Claudio Pizarro, and Pizarro's shot was well saved by the goalkeeper and cleared away, but that was a signal of intent, and that's why in the 12th minute we came forward again here with Pizarro, and again the goalkeeper made a good save. But I was feeling very, very confident that eventually we'd take one of these chances, because we were looking very threatening. And in the 22nd minute my opponent gets the ball away. Here it comes to Ballon. He finds Carillo, lovely little first time fake shot, and a great finish by Carillo past the goalkeeper, and we make it Peru 1, Monterrey 0. And in the top left it said Peru versus Peru. We've had that a couple of times during this series. I don't know why that is. It says that we're playing the side that we are, which we're obviously not, but there you go, that's EA for you. But Carillo makes it 1-0, and we take an early lead in this game, which was good to see. And in the 23rd minute, directly from kickoff, my opponent gets on the ball and plays the ball out wide towards Juarez. Juarez gives the ball away, and it comes to Hurtado. Hurtado collects the ball. We got a man running through in Ballon, down his left-hand side. He takes on Silva. He beats him for pace. We got a man in the centre. We cross the ball in towards Pizarro, who wins the header. It hits the post, but it falls to Carillo, and Carillo gets his 2nd goal in just a couple of minutes. So Carillo makes it 2-0, and you know, we were already looking very, very comfortable in this game, because up until this point my opponent hadn't had a single shot and wasn't looking very threatening at all. And as Carillo gets his 2nd of the game there, we were looking very, very confident, and we were now 2-0 up. And 11 minutes later, we are through again here, because Pizarro back heels the ball to Carillo. Is some lovely passing here. We go forward down the right-hand side with Jefferson Farfan. Farfan collects the ball, cuts inside, tries to shoot, and does. And it's a wonderful goal. Farfan makes it 3-0. It's a nice little build-up there, and a great finish by Farfan after he body feints around the last defender and smashes it into the corner. So Peru 3, Monterrey 0, and finally the scoreboard is back to the way it should be. And in the 43rd minute here, Pizarro finds Carillo. Carillo's through. Is he going to score? Yes, he is. Peru 4, Monterrey 0. And yeah, we're on course for a very comfortable victory before half time. And you know, my opponent wasn't really having the best game of his life in this game, unfortunately. But I'm sure he does play much better than this usually. But in this game, he was looking quite subpar. I don't think he had a single shot up until this point. And in the 54th minute, Carillo's through again. Great chance to get his 4th goal of the game, which he does. Heel flicks around the goalkeeper and puts it past him to make it Peru 5, Monterrey 0. So Carillo in this game just completely on fire, you know, absolutely fantastic performance. Every single time I went forward with the guy, I looked like scoring. And in the 57th minute here, we slide the ball forward towards Claudio Pizarro, and how on earth I missed this really good chance, I have no idea. What a poor finish that was, and it was still 5-0. And in the 90th minute, it was still 5-0. It looked as though the game was going to finish that way, but as Jefferson Farfan collects the ball here, we get past the defender, go down the right hand side, drilling across. Who's there to turn it in? It's Carillo. Another goal for the guy. That was his 4th goal, I do believe, or maybe even his 5th goal in this game. I can't remember now. But anyway, it was Peru 6, Monterrey 0. A very, very commanding performance, mainly from Carillo. But the whole team was great, you know. It was a fantastic team performance, and yeah, I was very pleased we got a 6-0 victory. I played very well in this game, if I don't say so myself, and I'm pleased we did get the victory. And Yeah, it was a good win, a very good performance, and a very comfortable win. It's our biggest win of the series so far, and I thought we played very, very well. So a 6-0 victory, a very good performance, and again, don't forget that the next episode will be a live commentary, so look forward to that. Again, obviously, by now I would have played it, obviously, because I play a week in front of the footage, but I'll be letting you guys choose the team via a straw poll. Follow me on Twitter at @Docklanders, so the next time a live commentary comes around, you guys can get involved. Follow me on Twitter, I'll let you guys decide what team we are for that live commentary, and I will see you for that episode very, very soon. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like, and I will see you for the next episode, which will of course be a live commentary very soon.